Hello and welcome back to the Whisky Rant Podcast. I'm Jeremy.
Rob.
Tonight we're talking about...
Redo.
Hey, welcome to Super Social Club. I'm Jeremy.
This is Whisky in the Six. I'm Rob.
Welcome to the Whisky Rant Podcast.
It's a little crusty,
It's frustrating.
and it's going to be a little bit of a rant.
I don't understand it. I don't know why.
Some sort of injustice.
Anyway, end rant.
Hello and welcome back to the Whisky Rant Podcast. I'm Jeremy.
I'm Rob.
Tonight we're talking about distilleries and how they change over time. We got a couple examples in front of us tonight. This is actually a idea that I pitched to my patrons and let them kind of decide what review they'd like to see next. And I pitched Ardbeg because I had an old 2016 release and a newer 2022 release. And as soon as they voted, Whiskey Hound came out with a video, the exact same thing. An old Ardbeg versus a new Ardbeg.
No way.
So I was like, oh man, I can't do it now. Whiskey Hound just came out with a video. Everything's going to be copying him.
Yeah.
So I thought maybe we'd wait a bit. I purposely did not watch that video to not be influenced by his opinion. But we have a couple old Ardbegs here and an old Macallan and a new Macallan. So let's talk about how distilleries change over time. Obviously, the profile is going to change no matter what.
Yeah. Well, we should say that we are doing this blind, right?
Yes.
Or semi-blind anyway. Like,
Semi-blind.
we don't know which Macallan is which, and we don't know... I know which ones yours are, you know which ones mine are,
Right.
but we don't know. Yeah, you know what? Everybody says, oh, I wish Springbank still made Springbank the way they did in the 80s, and Macallan, I wish they and we've experienced that with Macallan. I don't think we've experienced that really with Springbank because we probably haven't tried too many really old Springbanks.
Correct. And Macallan went through a huge transition pretty recently.
Yeah, they changed Distillery. They, their whole approach kind of changed. They use seasoned casks as opposed to the traditional, I don't know what kind of casks they were using before that, but does this say seasoned casks?
Yeah, so they did change exactly how this is the newer one, how they labeled the things, exclusively chilled and seasoned oak casks, where before they just said...
Selected sherry oak casks.
Right, so
Right.
I think that they were all kind of seasoned, but maybe they were more deliberately seasoned for whiskey production versus
Right.
maybe using them as they did before.
I also think that, in order to keep some continuity, Macallan decided to take matters into their own hands, keep sherry in their casks for the same amount of time, release it, then age their stuff, which, in my opinion, and you know what, maybe I will be proven wrong tonight, but in my opinion, has resulted in a decline of Macallan a little bit.
Yeah, I think so as well. But lots of reasons why distillery profiles will change and how one bottle of, Ardbeg 10 or Macallan 12 is going to 100% eventually change over time. Wood, huge issue, sourcing, casks. You're not going to get the same kind of casks every single time.
Right. I think this will be an interesting experiment.
Right, because we're using ex-bourbon here, right?
Ex-bourbon casks, not necessarily first fill ex-bourbon casks, right? This is a, spirit-driven whiskey. It always has been.
Yeah.
It would be cool to see if there's any difference in, what's going to also affect is the fact that this has been open since probably 2017, the earliest.
Yeah, it's a 2016 bottling.
Right? So it's at least been open for that long.
Yeah.
Maybe, all the disbelievers in oxygen playing a factor.
Yeah.
Remember that comment we got?
Oh yeah, the whiskey doesn't change.
Yeah. It was
The neck pours are the
on
same
our
as the
podcast Apple review. It was a 5-star.
Oh, that's right.
It was a 5-star, but the gentleman wished that we just would stop saying that whiskey tastes different after years in the bottle.
Yeah, because we say the neck pour is going to be different tasting than...
That's right.
Which it is true. It's, everyone experiences it, so whatever. It's a dumb comment.
Well, whatever. I wouldn't call it dumb. It's just, that's his opinion, and he's welcome to it. But it's just, we've experienced... And you know what? We're about to prove that right now.
Okay. But yeah, it's like Ardbeg 10, right? So sourcing ex-bourbon casks, you're not going to always get it from the same distillery every single time, right? Like I know these guys source from like lots of stuff from like Jack Daniels, obviously,
Right.
Wild Turkey. They're getting casks from a bunch of different bourbon producers,
and that has to play a factor because not all bourbon is made the same.
right? And like 1 year, maybe they get 50% from this distillery, 20%, 20%, 10%, and now that's percentages are changing. So you're always going to have different casks from different ex-bourbon distilleries maturing in your warehouse. And I guess it is the job of the people that work there, the master blenders, the master distillers, to create the profile that is roughly the same of what they have.
That would be a great experiment.
Yeah.
Trying
to match a blend or something like that.
Yeah, or Ardbeg says, okay, let's take all of our Jack Daniels barrels and we're gonna age them on this side of the warehouse, and we're gonna take all of our Wild Turkey and this side of the warehouse, and all of our Weller on this side of the warehouse.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna do an experiment, and we're gonna release, an Ardbeg 10-1, and an Ardbeg 10-2, and an Ardbeg 10-3, and then people are gonna tell us which one they think is best.
Yeah. Yeah. Really cool.
Just a quick way to make a few extra bucks.
I think it was like maybe even, was it Bricklady who was like one of the first distilleries to like actually say where they're getting their ex-bourbons from? Might have been.
They might have been.
This is the first one I noticed anyway.
Yeah.
They don't normally disclose.
They don't know. Well, it's the whole, like, they're not going to advertise our distillery, so we're not going to advertise their distillery.
I get it.
Thing, right?
And it's maybe conflicting, conglomerates as well.
Right.
It's been a while since I tried Macallan 12. It is good. It is a really good whiskey.
It's going to be hard. The Macallan 12 is going to be hard because when did you purchase this sherry cask, the new one?
The newer sherry cask, this would probably have been, I think I won it in like a poker game. So it would have been probably 2 years ago. So let's, for argument purposes, say it's a 2020. And the old one, this would have been in 2016 as well.
This is going to be interesting because if the new one beats the old one, do we have to say sorry to Macallan for all the years of like bashing and...
No, we don't have to.
We've been bashing Macallan for a while now.
Yeah, I mean, but rightfully so.
But what did it? What caused the bashing to start? Was it the
price went up and the quality went down?
Okay.
I mean, I don't know. What's more than that?
Yeah. Changing this bottling. Why break what's not broken?
Do you like the new? You don't like the new bottle?
No, I think it's stupid.
Yeah.
They all look too flashy now.
Yeah, I get it. I mean, I don't mind it. It's got the more kind of like collared shirt front, It looks like a very tailored. It's like a tailored bottle.
I think it should have just been for select bottles.
Yeah. But I love that Macallan profile. Even with both these, they still have it, which is good. It is good to know that you still get that like chocolate orange spiciness with the sherry cask.
It's crazy because there is one that sticks out above the other, and I'm afraid that it's not the right one.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say that this one doesn't drink as thick or as flavorful as the other.
I just think on the nose you get a little more richness on one of them.
Mm-hmm. That's where it's most noticeable, is on the nose. Is there a color difference at all?
I think slightly. I think if you look at them real close, you will see that the older one may be a shade darker. Not much. Can you tell? Maybe a shade darker?
It's vaguely.
Yeah.
Yeah, if at all.
Really hard to notice. It could just be the lighting too. How about you're looking at it?
I think I have my Macallans locked in as to which one is which. Now, I know which one I like better. I don't necessarily know which one is,
Honestly, they're both drinking actually pretty solid. Pretty good. I would take either of these at the old price, Either of these at the old price.
What's a fair price for Macallan? What should Macallan listen after listening to this podcast? Because we know that Macallan's always listening to this podcast. what would be the right price for a Macallan?
Like, what would I pay for the new
12-year-old
sherry cask?
Yeah.
I would pay. I think I'd pay probably. I would pay 90 Canadian dollars for it.
90 Canadian dollars. I think that
translates to about 75 to 78 US. So
Now,
like kind of like the high end of what the old pricing used to be.
I'm gonna add to this question.
Yeah.
If Macallan were to say, you know what, you guys have been asking for this forever, we are gonna oblige. The sherry line, just the sherry line, not the triple oak, the quadruple oak, the quintuple oak, whatever else crap they have. The sherry oak, single sherry oak line is going to be raised to 46%. Prices are going to be maintained as is.
Would I pay the new price?
Would you pay $150 for that bottle?
I would once to try it.
Well, to see if it's better.
And if it is like leagues better, then I think it maybe would be justified.
Because behind me is a bottle of the new Glenturret 12-year-old. We tried it the other night, I think. And it's good. It's very good. But that was $152.
Yeah.
All in. Okay, that includes shipping. Twice, probably. Right? I mean, I'm not even sure how our friend got it for us. But, you know, that's $152 his cost getting it to us.
Yeah.
So, what's this go for now? I want to say it's probably around the same, 150.
150.
Yeah, right.
Maybe even more, actually.
Might be more. I remember going to the States, going to Arizona, and picking up a bottle of this for, I want to say, 55 American.
Yeah. And I was buying it anywhere between 45 to 65 US. $45, like if you find like an on sale price, which you could find these things on sale.
So should we do the Macallan reveal first? Because once we go like to the Ardbegs, we're not going to be able.
Once
to
you go Pete, you don't go back.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I like this one better, and I'm not sure which one's which, but I do feel it has more going on in the nose. The flavor is a little bit more robust, a little bit more, and it does. I don't know if like it's just my mind playing tricks on me, but it does taste a little bit more oily, which is weird.
Yeah. No.
I don't know. We might not be drinking the same one. But, so this is the no sticker.
Okay.
So which...
So
I think this is the old one.
And I put the sticker on the old one.
Wow.
So that's the new one.
That's the new one. Okay.
Yeah.
And yeah, the nose is more muted on the old one.
I mean, that's probably because this has been open for longer.
Right. So like, it's not like the most fair comparison. They're both good.
Yeah.
I would say that the new one has a little bit more heat to it, knowing that this is the new one than that one.
Yeah.
But I mean, see that's where it becomes tough because like if it's not identifiable in a blind, then are the arguments fair?
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Are the arguments fair? Is Macallan actually not as good as it used to be? And you would think they've done this themselves, cracked a new bottle of the old stuff, and a new bottle of the new stuff, and did this in like.
That'd be the most fair comparison for sure.
You would think they did that,
and we could have done that, but.
Well, I don't know. Well, do you have new ones?
Yeah. No, okay. I haven't
sealed one of that.
Sealed a couple of these.
Okay. Yeah. So, but I mean, to waste fresh crack when you still have some to finish here. Yeah. I mean. I should wait for you to make your decision. It's tough, right?
They're both drinking. Like I said, they're both drinking pretty solid. I would prefer the one with no sticker.
Okay, so I'm not gonna tell you what I did just yet, but I'll tell you that
Did you write down what they were?
I text my wife the information, so she's probably like, "What?"
Shouldn't fucking remember.
Right no, it's right here. So, okay, so the old Mac is no sticker.
Okay, so I prefer the old Mac. Yeah, I think it got this more richness, a little more boldness. It doesn't have the intensity because it's older. Obviously, it's been open for 7 years, whereas this has been only open for 2. But yeah, it is a difference. There is 100% a difference, and I've done these on my channel before, comparing the two back and forth.
Yeah.
And when I did that, I drank them a lot, and really kind of got to like what is the actual difference. And yeah, I mean, I would still buy this at the old price. Like, take inflation into account, take the popularity of whiskey into account.
Yeah, $90 Canadian, like you said.
$90 Canadian, I would buy this bottle.
Now, let's be honest. All the 12-year-olds nowadays are pretty much overpriced.
Yeah,
You know,
they really
like,
are.
I think you go to the LCBO, and that's not the best spot to check
No.
because it's ridiculously
Yeah.
priced. But you're looking at a Glendronach 12 for, I think, $95 or something like that, $99. The Bunnahabhain 12 is like $105. So everything is over like around $100 now.
Yeah, you're pretty much paying $100 for a 12-year-old Scotch in Ontario.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So I mean, but 150 is pushing it.
Yeah.
Right, and the only other jackasses to do that, and it might be an LCBO thing and not an actual distillery thing. So I should just say the LCBO's the jackasses, but is Balvenie. Balvenie charges like $250 for a 14.
I don't understand what's going on with Balvenie.
Balvenie's lost their mind.
Balvenie and Ardbeg are crazy in Ontario. You can't buy them here.
But I will say though, the Wee Beastie is a 5-year-old, fine, but it's like what, $65-$70, and the 10 is $110. So yeah, that's $110 is not cheap, but
It's not, but when you compare it to other markets like the U.S. and you can get a 10-year-old for $55 U.S., you're like, well, what are we doing here?
no, it doesn't make sense. I mean, this is not the province to buy whiskey anyway. We know that.
That's true.
We know that.
There is the occasional outlier that is well priced, but
Yeah.
it's maybe like 1 in every 20 bottles that you come across.
Yeah, 1 in probably less.
1 in 30?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
This is
actually,
gonna-
maybe even way less than that, because there's only like a handful of bottles that are a good price at the LCBO.
There's only like a few bottles that you would actually buy anyway at the LCBO
Yeah.
because they don't actually get good stuff
True.
for the most part. Okay, this one might be a little easier because of when the bottle was opened.
I agree, and I noticed it right away. Ardbeg 10 is so nice. It is such a great pour. I do love it a lot. I love that lemon. I love that smoke.
Yeah.
A little bit of medicinal.
It's
but
crazy
a nice
how-
sweetness throughout the whole thing.
It's crazy how time opened on this bottle plays a huge factor. It's like it's literally ironed it out to be like no heat whatsoever.
Yeah. But like, focus on like the lemon and how much intensity you get. So I think maybe that's where these bottles will differ.
I gotta say though, I still love Ardbeg 10. Like when I'm in the mood for Pete, that's a great whiskey. Even the new one, like they're both great.
Yeah.
You know, I think I know. Like off of one sip each, I think I know. But I also thought I knew the last time. Completely wrong. I think the no sticker is the old one for this one. I think the sticker is the new one for this one.
I had a chance recently at Toronto Whiskey Society tasting to try an old Glenmorangie 10 from like the 80s or maybe even 70s. Very old bottle.
It's hard to tell now.
And it had a little bit of smoke on it.
Okay.
Which I thought was crazy. Because I don't think they ever peated their whiskey, but maybe they actually did put a little peat in it at one point in time.
I guess they must.
Or maybe they just had some barrel char. Anyway, way different than the profile you get today, right? Like completely different. It didn't taste like I would have never guessed it was Glenmorangie 10. Not in a million years. It is interesting to try stuff of yesteryear. Well, even like we tried that Johnny Walker Red that I have from the 70s. And how much different that was from Johnny Walker today. That's a huge difference.
How much better?
Way better.
Yeah.
Way better.
Yeah, this is hard to tell. Like these are neck and neck. Like these are super close in my opinion.
Yeah.
I think maybe we didn't go back far enough. To be fair, like maybe
We went back like what, 7 years?
Yeah, so maybe we should have gone back like
6.5 years. Yeah.
if we could have found something in like the late, decade, like last decade.
Yeah.
I mean, the decade before last.
Yeah, I did try another Ardbeg 10 from the 80s as well.
There was that one really old Ardbeg that you had. That was awesome.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
That was a Gordon MacPhail bottling. Is that what you're talking about?
Yes.
Yeah, 1974 distillate.
Crazy.
Coming in at
That's my phone. Just and nobody's dead.
It's okay. Yeah, coming in at like it was a 23-year-old from 70s distillate. Really, really nice.
I probably got it wrong again here. I'm gonna try one more time.
Well, which one do you prefer? I think one is more creamy. It's probably the older one.
One's got a touch more. I don't even want to call it heat, but it's maybe a touch more shallow, like a little bit less thick.
Do you think that both distilleries did a good job of recreating their flavor? Because we're talking like 7 years and 6 years apart here, roughly.
When was this bottled?
I don't know, but
Does it say it right there?
I don't think it does.
It might.
It says a code, but I don't think it says the date.
If this is a date that I'm looking at now, where it's like 12/10, so
It says L2 12-10
slash.
I don't think it's not from 2012 or 2010.
It could be.
I don't think so.
No.
No. Because I bought it in probably around 2015.
How old were you in? Well, I guess you were drinking whiskey in 2012, 2010.
I wasn't buying Macallan 12 at that time though.
No.
Because I would have bought this in the U.S. and it would have been when I was buying whiskey in the U.S., which would have been 2014, 2015.
13 years ago, we were like 25, 26.
Yeah, I wasn't drinking Macallan 12 at that time.
All right. Well, that settles that.
But anyway, what I'm saying is, like, have these distilleries done a good job of recreating their flavor profile over this time?
I think so. I
think
mean,
so.
I accidentally picked.
Yeah,
new one
I
over
think they really did actually, and
And these are like neck and neck,
yeah,
like crazy close.
the Ardbeg arguably easier to do because you're just using ex-bourbon casks, whereas like the sherry quality. I mean, I think they're using more refills in the new ones.
Well, that's just it, though, right? That was the comment that everybody kept saying, is that the sherry quality has declined in Macallan, but I don't really notice that.
There you go.
Maybe I've grown to really appreciate the new sherry style. I don't know, but and the other thing is like
it's more apparent in the 18-year-old. I think
I could see that
when you go back, because remember we were in Vancouver, we tried that 1987 Macallan, or is it 83?
It was back there. Yeah, it was. I think it was 80. I think you're right. I think it was
87?
86 or 87.
Yeah, that was a huge difference from any Macallan that I've tried today.
Oh, that was so good.
So the 18, I think you can notice a bigger range, but you're right. These are not that far apart, really.
Yeah, I wonder if we again went back like even more. Like so the older ones. If we went back 10 years, would there be a drastic difference? If anybody has,
they wants to send us an old vintage Macallan.
12-year-old or 18 for that matter. That 18 was spectacular.
It was good.
I thought I knew, but I don't know if I know. This Ardbeg is harder to figure out.
From what you've heard around the whiskey community, what would you say that people talk about the most as far as the distillery that's changed the most throughout the years?
I think it's because we're such big Springbank fans that's probably up there, and the other one would be these guys.
Do you know who I was going to say?
Highland Park?
Bowmore.
Yeah, Bowmore, everybody like waxes poetic about the old school Bowmore.
Right?
And like,
Bowmore today is garbage.
It's garbage.
I mean, the core range.
I mean, there's some quality stuff that comes out of Bowmore. Like, I mean, one of the best whiskeys I've ever tried was a Bowmore. But that being said,
you hear Mike and Ari all the time because they have lots of vintage Bowmores.
Yeah.
They're like, this stuff is amazing.
Yeah.
And what Bowmore's putting out today, not even close.
No, it's not.
So I don't know. Maybe leave us a comment down below. What's the distillery that's changed the most over the years? Which one's changed for the better? Because there's definitely, we've noticed some changes for the better. I can think of two right off the top.
I mean, does Glenallachie count?
I don't think so.
No, because it was like mostly in
We weren't really
blends.
drinking Glenallachie. We weren't, yeah.
Yeah. Well, then I will say Glen Scotia.
Okay.
Glen Scotia's improved a lot in my opinion.
That new Glen Scotia 18 that we had was really good.
Versus like older ones that I've tried that are like nowhere near as good.
What about Aaron?
Aaron has drastically improved.
Right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And the other one I was thinking of was, now I forgot. I'll think of it. But yeah, like Aaron, like, right? Because...
How about the decline of Highland Park?
Oh, yes. The decline of Highland Park, yeah.
So, I used to love Highland Park. Mm-hmm. Now I can't even buy a bottle from them. Like, there's nothing I want of theirs. Nothing. There's not one, like, not a single thing.
The only thing that I would buy from them is the 10-year-old.
Yeah.
Because I just, like, is a crushable, easy drinking, and I still think it's really good. I like it better than the 12.
Yeah. I would like to be able to buy the 21 and, you know, maybe the 25, but they're too expensive now. Like the 21, and that's the problem with too expensive, is that like you'll try it once, you'll splurge on it once, but unless you're absolutely like mind blown, you're never going back to that bottle.
I agree.
You're never gonna buy it again.
Yeah.
You know,
And the price has gotten too crazy too.
It's nuts.
It's like they're not worth the price.
It's like $700 for the 21 now.
It's fucked. Like, what the hell?
Yeah.
We were buying that for like $275, weren't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, like what? It's crazy.
I still have, I think, at least one of the old 21s that were like 47%.
Yeah, I remember buying the 25-year-old for 400 Canadian.
Great deal.
I mean, we should have loaded. We should have loaded. Yeah, 380. We should have loaded up. Man.
We did.
We had the
for
money.
a while. I mean,
the other distillery I was thinking of before, which improved, was Ben Romick. I think the Ben Romick has improved a lot.
Definitely.
Over the time.
You know what? I remember trying Ben Romick early on, and I was like, there's nothing really I want to go back to here.
Yeah.
And then, I don't know what happened within the last 2 years-ish.
Yeah, some of these releases are coming out now. They're cask strength. There's vintage cask strength 10-year-olds.
Yes.
So good, man.
Those are incredible.
Good. Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people will argue that they were always great, and to be fair, I never actually tried the old cask strength, so I don't know.
Yeah.
But, you know, I went to the core range stuff. I went to the 15. Like, the biggest problem with me back in my early days of whiskey in the 6 is I skipped a lot of stuff to get to the higher end stuff. Like an idiot. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't go 10, 12, 15, whatever. I went maybe 15, like, if it looked good. But I was usually at the 18 first, then the 21, then 25, or whatever, right? I usually skip the bottom row, and you learn so much about a distillery in the early days.
I agree.
Like the earlier expressions.
Yeah.
You know?
Because the one thing, like, when you're new to something and you jump ahead to a whiskey that's kind of above you, because you haven't put in the work and, like, been able to appreciate what makes this one different.
Exactly.
Because you don't have the catalog in your memory of, like, all these different whiskeys.
That's right.
I do the same thing with cigars, right? I'm new into cigars. I want to go out and just, like, what is everyone saying is the best cigar, right? Yeah. So I'm smoking like a 1964 Patron, and I'm like, this is really good, but I know that in like 2 years time from now, I go back and revisit that, I'm gonna get a way different experience than I had the first time, right?
It makes you wonder, like, which whiskeys did you do that to? And should we go back?
Yeah.
Right? Like,
For
it makes me wonder a lot.
Yeah.
Because I reviewed some, like, really quality stuff early on, and I don't think I knew what I had.
Yep. You have to build up your whiskey knowledge to appreciate what makes the good stuff different.
Yeah.
And how it makes it different.
Absolutely.
I'm going to say that I prefer the Ardbeg with no sticker, which I think is the older one. Both good, though. I just think that I like that lemony profile a bit better. I think that the one with the sticker has a little more medicinal, and maybe I like the one without a little bit more medicinal, more balanced.
So you said the one without the sticker is the better one?
Yes, without is the better.
So the old Ardbeg is the Ardbeg with the sticker in this case.
Oh, so I went with the new Ardbeg.
I reversed it.
Okay.
Like, yeah.
All right.
I think that the one without is the older one, I think the one with is the newer one. I don't know which one I like better.
Okay.
I don't actually like either of these better. I think they're both very good.
And we were both wrong. I put the sticker on both your old ones. The old ones had the stickers.
Okay. So you didn't pull the trick that I pulled?
No.
Okay.
So interesting. Yeah, really interesting. So you preferred both the new bottlings.
Yeah.
And I preferred the newer.
No, I
the
didn't
Ardbeg.
pick a preference. I just thought that this was the older
Fair
one.
enough.
The other one, the Macallans, I preferred the newer bottling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, interesting.
I like the robustness of the new one. I think that's what I like about peated whiskeys is they have that fight to them.
Mm-hmm.
You know? So like, yes, actually, I guess this is more ironed out for some reason. I'm feeling like this is more ironed out. The newer one. So maybe
The newer one
better.
is more balanced.
Right?
Yeah.
Which is weird.
There you go.
I like when peated whiskeys have it's almost like a carbonated kind of feel to it, but it's not carbonated.
Oh, yeah.
Like almost like a pop rocksy kind of like,
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Like pop rocks.
Yep.
Kind of gets that like vibe going on in your mouth, but
like
it's not that.
Yeah.
And
But
I
I
get
think
that
that-
more with the old one than the new one.
Yeah. I think the conclusion is that they've done a really good job of keeping these consistent.
Yeah.
I think they are very consistent.
That or I'm losing my touch.
Either that or we have no idea what we're talking about.
Yeah. But both good. It's a cool experiment. I would have liked to do something fresh crack, brand new, versus fresh crack,
Yeah.
like 20, 30 years old.
Yeah, of course.
Right?
That'd be the best.
If anybody has like a Springbank 12-year-old cask strength, we'll try to source the brand new one.
Yeah, we can get the new one. You get us the old one.
Get us the old one, preferably like the 100 proofs. Those would be fine.
So unfair.
Like I think Springbank's got to be the one that everybody like says has declined the most.
Yeah.
And it's hard for us.
I don't
to
know
believe.
though, because Springbank is so good.
That's what I was gonna say. It's hard for us to believe because they're still so damn good.
Yeah.
Like, I have 315s that I love. That I like. Don't know which one I like better. I keep going back to.
But see, the thing is, like Springbank, I don't think it's declining at all. Because like, look at the new releases that are coming out.
I think what happens.
Like, just look at the 10-year-olds.
Yeah, the 10s are great. I think what happens is people. You buy something for $2,000 because it's like 30 years old. In your head, you're like, I have to already mark this at like a 90. Like,
Sure.
Yeah. You don't mean to do it.
Yeah.
It's just like it's innate. Like you can't help yourself. Mm-hmm. You're pumped for it. You're like you're gonna be in your best state of mind when drinking that whiskey. So you're gonna enjoy it more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like your hard-earned blood, sweat, and tears went into buying that bottle.
Yeah.
I think people get caught up in the noise when it comes to like older stuff, and they overvalue it.
Yeah.
I would love to sit down with someone that has some older expressions and then pour them that Springbank 8 up there.
Yeah.
The society release or the newer 15 versus like some of the older 15s and have them in a blind tasting.
Yeah.
You know what's in the blind tasting, pick it out.
Yeah.
It's so much better than that new one.
Mm-hmm.
Then you should be able to tell, right?
Yeah.
If it's that much better.
Yeah.
Like if it's like, and this is where marketing becomes very difficult to do because like you got people giving like an old Springbank like a 94 and it's a 12-year-old or whatever it is. Okay, the 12-year-olds might be a weird case because some of those had like 30-year-old whiskey in them, right?
Sure.
But like something a little newer, let's say. Give it a 94, you get a new one, you give it an 83 or 86 or whatever it is. And it's like in a blind tasting, are you going to do that?
Yeah.
That's where
Exactly.
Yeah. I don't know.
Blind
are tough.
tastings are tough, and they're also tricky because it's just your opinion at that exact moment in time.
Yeah. And that,
if you sit down with 2 bottles and you drink them down, if you do it blind 20 times through the whole length of the bottle,
that's the best way
and
to
you vote for each time, and then you get a vast range of the entire bottling experience.
Right.
Then you make your decision. Is obviously the best way and the most inconvenient, and no one's going to do it like that. So.
No, exactly. I think the most fair way to do a blind tasting is like 4 or 5 different pours of it on 4 or 5 different nights.
Yes.
And like, you know, your spouse comes, pours the 2 whiskeys, doesn't tell you which is which.
Yeah.
And then you record your results. Then the next
I would argue you could do it 3 times.
Fine.
And if you get the exact same result every single time, without a doubt, that's the one.
Yeah.
If you pick one night, one the other night, then you have a tiebreaker, and then maybe if you're still conflicted, you could do it 2 more times.
Right.
And then see.
I think that's fair.
That's the best way.
I think that's fair, and I think nobody's gonna do that, but that's a true blind.
That's a true blind.
That's a true blind.
That's a true blind, for sure.
Otherwise, it's so hard. It's like we said about like throwing in like something that has a little bit of smoke in a whiskey in a series of like non-peated whiskeys.
Yeah.
You know, that one whiskey that has a touch of smoke is gonna taste better that night, not because it's better, but because it stands out a little bit over the rest.
People like that video, by the way.
Which one?
The What's the Best 18. We should start up a new series.
We should.
What do you want to do it with?
We can do 15s.
We
I
do
have
15s.
a ton of 15s.
We can do 12 or 15.
Yeah, we can do 12s. I have a ton of 12s.
We should do. Let's just see what we have.
What's the best whiskey at Rob's bar? We'll just do it blind, and I'll get 12.
All this?
All
this one night. Let's go. 24 hours of boom.
The day.
Yeah.
Whiskey Rant Night along with Rob and
The
Jeremy.
Whiskey Rant edition of 24 hours of boom. Will we blind sample Rob's entire bar?
24 hours of boom. The Whiskey Rant. 24 hours.
Where we get carried out on the stretcher on the, 23rd hour.
What is it again? The 12 hours?
It's only video we
It's
do 12. Yeah.
12
We need
hours.
24 to get through all this.
Yeah.
But we could do it because we'd only we could do like quarter ounce pours, right?
Quarter ounce pours.
So we could do
every
4
4 is
pours
an
an
ounce.
hour, right?
So an ounce an hour.
We could do an ounce an hour, right? We do 24 ounces in 24 hours.
Dead. We're dead.
No,
Dead.
we're fine because like your body can metabolize an ounce an hour, so we're never even gonna be feeling the alcohol.
That
we
is
metabolize as we go.
There's got to be some scientific evidence.
No, don't even question it. Don't look it up. Your body metabolizes an ounce an hour.
Bro science tonight, folks.
Okay.
Bro science. I
Bro,
love
this
it.
is bro science.
I
We
love
can
it.
do what's 24 times 4?
Yes.
Right, 72. We can do 72 bottles in 24 hours.
Fair. I'm down. I'm gonna die, but I'm down. I won't drink for like 6 months after that. I don't think I could.
Maybe you can't drink for 6 months before either. You have to like train.
Yeah. Well, no, that's probably worse.
You're right. You want to drink way more before.
You need to drink 7 ounces a night for like 7 nights before that.
Leave us comments down below. Would you like to see us do the 24 hours of boom where we do 72 pours and we decide what the best bottle is on Rob's bar?
I think we should do another blind, like have a.
We should
series
separate
going.
peat. Maybe we can do one with peat.
We can do what's the best cask strength whiskey. Peated. Cask strength whiskey. It's so hard. Like there's so much.
It is hard. There is so many
so
subcodes.
much.
I think one of the comments that people were saying is like you should separate peat from the rest of the
Have a peat winner. Have a sherry winner.
Maybe just
or
next. Maybe
non-peated.
just next we go just either all peat or we just pick non-peated
All
but a
non-peated.
certain age stated whiskeys
Age stated, non-peated, or peated.
or peated. Yeah.
It would be a lot harder to do peated though, because like okay, you can think of a couple 10-year-olds that are peated.
Yeah.
Like Lefroy, Ardbeg, LeJake.
Right.
What else? Is there another one? Port Charlotte. That's a 10.
Lagavulin.
That's a 12.
Yeah, to match the age would be difficult with peat.
Yeah.
You're right. It'd be easy to do like a 12-year-old non-peated age stating because there's so many of those. Yeah.
Or like under 12, we could say.
12 or under?
12 or under. We could do that.
12
There's
or under.
a lot of 12 or unders.
Yeah.
There's like tons of Talisker under that. Is cask strength allowed in this?
Too many decisions for now.
So many variables.
We will have to work it out.
Someone plot it out with chat CBT or cheese. What is it? I don't even know.
The AI chat box.
Yeah, my brother uses it.
Maybe
all
we
the
should
time.
just let it decide.
What would be the best Scotch blind tasting?
Okay, Chat GPT is going to decide for us what
I'll
our
call
next,
my brother
our
right now
next
and
episode.
ask him to type it in.
Type it in. We'll get it. We'll get the
It's gonna
results.
happen. We're gonna find out tonight. We're gonna leave this to AI.
Leave us a comment down below. Have you noticed a distillery change in one of the brands that you like the most? And what distillery is that? What has had the biggest change, or what's stayed the most consistent?
Yeah.
Let us know in the comments down below. Thanks so much for watching. Really much appreciate it, guys. Have a good one.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers.